On Christmas Eve, my aunt sneered, "You don't belong, give your gift to someone worthy." You know that feeling when a family holiday, instead of being warm and joyful, feels like a pressure cooker? What happens when the person who's controlled your family for decades suddenly loses their grip? For me, that breaking point was this Christmas Eve, and what started as a quiet act of defiance turned into a reckoning that no one, especially my Aunt Linda, ever saw coming. I'm Nathan, I'm 27, and for most of my life, Christmas has been defined by my Aunt Linda. Imagine a woman whose voice could cut through any cheerful noise like a knife, who narrated everything, how the potatoes should be mashed, how sweaters should fit, and most importantly, how I should feel about myself. If you've got a relative who mistakes control for love, you know her type. As kids, we learned to gauge her mood before we even finished taking off our coats. Would it be a tight smile and a "there he is," or a long theatrical sigh, followed by "oh good, you made it"? That sigh? It was our family wreath, reliable, evergreen, and frankly, a little depressing if you thought about it too long. This year, my mom, bless her heart, called and asked me to just be kind for the night. Her voice was soft, rehearsed. I think she wanted Christmas Eve to feel intact, the way it did when Grandma was alive, when she kept a gentle hand on Linda's shoulder. Grandma had a way of making space open up around people. Even Linda lowered her voice when Grandma looked at her. After Grandma passed last spring, the air in the house just changed. It felt thinner, like the warmth had just fallen out. Everyone else looked for her in old ornaments and beloved recipes, but I found her in legal folders and crisp clauses because, to my surprise, she'd made me executive of her trust. I almost said no. The lawyer's office smelled like lemons and sheer effort, and the list of responsibilities felt heavy against my chest. But I said yes, because months earlier, on her porch, bare feet against the boards, night bugs hitting the screen, Grandma had squeezed my hand and said something that stuck with me. "You see people as they are and still look for what they could be." That's a trustee. That line, it kept me steady through a summer storm of paperwork and hushed phone calls. It also taught me the crucial difference between justice and victory. When you grow up in a family where one person holds all the narrative power, you learn to author your own story in the margins. I became a master of small escapes, an extra walk around the block, offering to take out trash that didn't really need taking out, visits to grandma's that always lasted one more cup of tea than I'd planned. Linda, of course, preferred my cousins, especially her son, Tyler. Not because they were inherently better people, but because they perfectly mirrored her vision of what successful, grateful children looked like. Tyler always had the newest gadgets, wearing his good fortune like a literal badge. He earned it, she'd declare. Some of us believe in excellence. I remember her saying that once when we were teenagers, taking a video of Tyler's mountain of presents for her friends. The camera just swung past me and the 2 books I'd asked for. She posted it anyway. Every holiday had its small humiliations. The year she made a speech about how respect is earned, then called on us all to list one thing we appreciated about her. I said her cranberry relish was good. She frowned, clearly expecting, "You're the backbone of this family." Another Christmas, I put together a slideshow of family photos, including some sweet, quiet ones from the hospital when Grandma was getting weaker. 10 seconds in, Linda interrupted, "No sad stuff tonight," and switched it to a loop of Tyler's college highlights. She laughed. "We need to keep the energy up." My mother laughed too, not because it was funny, but because it was just safer. Somewhere in my early 20s, I just and then, the part that shocked everyone watched full story.